December 7th, 1941. A quiet Sunday morning. Families had just woken up in Hawaii. Sailors read letters from home. And then the world tore open. Pearl Harbor was supposed to be safe, a paradise. But at 7:55 a.m., Japan launched a surprise attack that would drag the United States into the most destructive war in human history. The American people were stunned, angry, united. Overnight, a sleeping giant awakened. After Pearl Harbor, President Franklin D. Roosevelt declared, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States transformed almost instantly. Car factories became tank factories. Typewriter companies built rifles. Women became welders, pilots, engineers. Millions enlisted. America was not just preparing for war, it was preparing for revenge, justice, and survival. Japan expanded rapidly. The Philippines, Malaya, Singapore, Burma. American troops were trapped on Bataan and Corregidor, fighting with everything they had. General Douglas MacArthur was forced to leave, uttering his legendary promise, "I shall return." June 1942. 4 Japanese aircraft carriers, 3 American carriers. A gamble that would decide the Pacific. American code breakers cracked Japanese signals. U.S. dive bombers struck from the sky like thunder. In 5 minutes, Japan's naval power began to crumble. Midway changed the war. The U.S. was now on the offensive. The U.S. strategy was brutal but brilliant. Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Saipan, Iwo Jima, Okinawa. Each island was a fortress, each beach was hell. But every victory brought American troops closer to Japan's doorstep. Across the world, Adolf Hitler's Nazi empire controlled most of Europe. Britain fought alone for months. The Soviet Union bled millions of soldiers. But now, America had arrived. American troops first fought German forces in the deserts of North Africa. General Patton's tanks thundered through dusty battlefields. By 1943, the Allies pushed the Axis out. From Sicily to Monte Cassino, American troops fought harsh mountain battles. Italy surrendered, but German forces fought on viciously. The largest invasion in human history. American soldiers stormed Omaha and Utah beaches, facing walls of bullets and fire. Bodies fell, waves turned red. But they broke through. The liberation of Europe had begun. Winter 1944, snow-covered forests in Belgium. The German army launched a surprise counterattack. American forces were surrounded, cold, running out of ammo. But they refused to break. At Bastogne, when asked to surrender, American General McCulloch replied with one word, "Nuts." And the Americans held the line. American, British, and Soviet armies closed in. Hitler hid in a bunker beneath Berlin. By May 1945, the Nazi regime collapsed. Victory in Europe, VE Day, was celebrated across America. But the war was not over. Japan still fought desperately. Iwo Jima and Okinawa showed that an invasion of Japan would cost millions of lives. President Truman made a choice that would change the world forever. August 1945, 2 atomic bombs. The world entered the nuclear edge in horror and silence. Japan surrendered on September 2, 1945. World War II was over. The U.S. entered World War II after being struck without warning, but in 4 years, it helped reshape the entire world. Defeated fascism, introduced the atomic age, became a global superpower and carried the cost of sacrifice on its shoulders. Over 400,000 Americans never returned home. World War II was not just a war of nations, it was a war of people, ordinary men and women who rose to extraordinary moments. Their courage shaped the world we live in today. Fade out. End.